here in our morning Mogulvation, and just want to spend a few minutes with everybody on this morning just to motivate you and encourage you if you're in business, if you just going to work, and just to inspire you to believe and dream and accomplish the best things that you can accomplish. I'm excited this morning. I just got from the gym from working out. I'm also excited because I believe that I fixed my audio issue in the studio. Finally, yes. So now I have clear audio, no echo. So I feel like that was an accomplishment because it seemed like it was a little challenge to get the audio right on this project in the studio. So if you're on YouTube, welcome to Influence TV Network. If you're on Facebook, welcome to IMTR Burns, the public page, personal page, collective church, the living room, and just trying to be your guide in faith, marketplace, everything. You know, like really helping you master life. Shout out to everybody on Instagram that's tuned in. So if you want to follow me on social media platforms, across all platforms is I am TR Burns. I am TR Burns. That's simple. A lot of other pages you can follow for my businesses are Hot Plate Soul, Lehigh Valley, which is Phillipsburg, New Jersey area. Hot Plate, Gastonia, North Carolina, and more to come. Vegan Soul Company, Metro Food Drop, all on Instagram and Facebook. Every morning, I like to be disciplined. And that's the word for the week, for the month, for the year. And just saying confessions that really are going to shape my life. So, you know, I have a book called the Mogul Bible for the marketplace or Reloaded. And so this is it here. It's on Amazon. And I'll be reading some confessions this morning from my book that I wrote. And I did these confessions. I put them in a book, a whole bunch of them, for the purpose of allowing people to, and teaching people to shape their day with the words they say. Not trying to be real rhyming, but to shape their day with the words they say. And I think a lot of times that is a big deal for a lot of us because we go through things. And sometimes them things make you want to cuss and say some crazy, crazy stuff. So I decided to write that in the book, which is very, 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 very important to my day and how we start our day out and how we achieve what we need to achieve by making sure that we are saying the correct words and that we're speaking life into our day. And so a lot of times when we get up in the morning, we're not always in the most motivated place to go after our dreams. I know I'm not all the time. So one of the things I do in the morning is I pray, and then I read confessions that I've written to shape my day with the words that I say. Okay? So remember that. You can shape your day with the words that you say. And you need to say them words in the morning, right? When you rise up. Now, you can say throughout the day, but before you start your day, you want to send forward faith. You want to speak what you want. You want to say what you want to achieve in your day. So, again, you can pick up the Mogul Bible. I believe this week I'm letting it download for free. I don't know. I think it's almost over today. But this is the Mogul Bible. It is not a Bible to replace the biblical Bible. When I say the reason I called it the Mogul Bible, because I believe that it's a necessary tool that you should have with you all the time on how to govern yourselves in business, the marketplace, and just how to merge your faith in what you do for business and life. And so this is scripturally based on the Bible, the real Bible. So you have a lot of scriptures and different things in there. And that is, goes through everything. What is the marketplace, faith, solutionists, what it means to be a mogul, how to train, how to think, build them into equity. And I have a new book coming out real soon called Hustle and Flow. And that book really talks about the parts of hustle. When I first started out in business, I was more hustling. And a lot of times that terminology is used. Excuse me. That term is used to in a negative way. Oh, he's a hustler. So they refer to drug dealing or something illegal. But to hustle means that you have not come into that space of the financing. You have not come in that space of also organization, like a structure yet. So you're doing little things here and there, doing sporadic things to get the money so that you can become a business person or you can become stable. So there's nothing wrong with that transition, long as it's a positive transition. And so when we talk about the hustle and the flow, sometimes you got the hustle, but you don't have the flow of things. It's hard to talk to people sometimes that never been in business about things that go on in business. Like you got to close something, you got to move something, you got to relocate, you got to change the brand, you got to shift this and shift that. And a lot of people that are regular, that don't understand business and life, they see that as inconsistency. But what I see that's innovation and ingenuity, right? Because the problem with us is that we'll stay the same even if something is not producing or working for us because we don't want the scrutiny of people. Excuse me. Excuse me. So because we don't want the scrutiny of other people, we would keep on feeding a dead situation. You have to know when the hustle and the flow and when to move on. And so a lot of times people never evolve into what they have to become because they're afraid of the opinions of those that have not started to become anything. And that prevents us from taking chances and acceptable risk in our dreams and our aspirations. And so, for years, people used to call me Entrepreneur Negro and try to insult me in that way. And then others would say, you're lazy, you don't want to work. When I was working harder for myself than I worked for someone else. But because I was not collecting a check from someone else, or they didn't see everything I did because I wasn't working a 9 to 5 or 10, whatever it is, right? They saw it as I'm not doing anything. But all along, I'm doing more than them. Like today, I work more than most people. I'm on a plane 3 times a week, and then I'm this, and then I got to go here, and then I got to come back to do this. And versus those that work a regular job, you get up, you go to the same job every day, and that's that. So a lot of times we miss that moment of innovation, of creativity, because we fail to allow certain things that need to change, and we got to close something, open something, and many people see that as failure. I had a situation with a location of mine, a restaurant location, and it's like we didn't fail. We made a business decision to be able to stay going forward, because there is a certain amount, of sometimes a lot of the purpose of why we do things get lost in the attachment of the thing we do. So we get so attached to a place, attached to something, but we forget why we started. And in business, we have to always have proper perspective of why we got into this, right? We may love to cook, we may love the people, but the end goal, we didn't get into that because of just loving people and loving to cook chicken and all that other stuff. For me in the restaurant industry, right? We got in it to make money. We got in it to do better, to prosper. And when that is lost, it becomes, the thing you're doing becomes perverted, because that is what it's supposed to produce. Your business is supposed to produce a better life for you and your family. It's supposed to afford you the ability to have health insurance, live better, and live long. When it is stressing you out and you are a slave to it, something has been lost in translation, right? And so now you got to go back into that thing and you have to define it again. Like, why is it here? So situation, in a property, we had this jerkish landlord from the jump street. And, he was just trying to get over on the get over, we paid our rent on time, even through a pandemic. We did all we can do. We put money in a property that we shouldn't have put, but because we was kind of in a situation during the pandemic, our hands was crossed, right? But there's a certain acceptable amount of loss that you got to assume in a business sometimes. But once you've hit that threshold, you got to make a decision. And it wasn't that we wasn't profitable or making anything. It was just that this person was a crook, and every chance they got, they're trying to manipulate or get over or trying to take advantage because in their mind, they're not understanding, what we're trying to achieve. So in innovation, if you're in business and you're going to innovate in business, you have to understand that sometime inconsistency or you got to change this or switch that up. You can't allow the opinions of people that never opened anything or done anything with all of their ideas and opinions to make you feel like a failure, because innovation requires restarting, relooking, and rebranding. Sometimes you got to do the same thing in a different place to get a different result. Sometimes you have to, go deep into the reasoning of something. And a lot of times, because of appearances, social media, families and friends, that they only want to really deal with us in the space of ultimate end result success. And for them, it's I'm rich, I'm on television, or something like that. But success is not rooted in the end, but it's solidified in the middle. So anybody can start. When we begin to start something, we're excited. So that excitement of starting something is the driving force. But it's when you get into the middle and now the bills come, the challenges come, the COVID-19 comes, the family comes. And this is where you have to, as a person, a dreamer and a winner, you have to begin to sit down and say, all right, now this is when the true innovation must begin, because I got to make it to the goal. And sometimes making to the goal is cutting some dead weight. We're moving some things. And so, before I do our confessions this morning to motivate you all, and our confession this morning is going to be 10 things you should say to yourself in the morning. 10 things you should say to yourself in the morning. But before I get there, I just want to encourage everybody, because a lot of times, we have individuals and people that are really just struggling with, the appearance of a thing more than, what the purpose of a thing is. And, in the beginning, I've been telling people a lot, hey, start. I'm a person that wants to have it perfect. I want it to be excellent all the time. But I understand that even that pursuit of perfection can make me procrastinate. And so, a lot of times you got to fix it as you go on, because if you don't start, you will never start, because it will never be a perfect scenario or palette to start on. Everybody will not start on a white palette. Some people have to scrub some things off and use some white out to get it, to be able to start that thing. And so perfection can many times become, the reason why you're procrastinating, because you want it perfect. And some things will never be perfect until you start. And perfection is a result of failure. We can never define what is perfect until we define what we don't like and what is imperfect. And failure exposes the imperfect things. Failure exposes the imperfect things. And then it gives us what we like. It's like even when in a relationship, you've had relationships prior to being married, if you're married, And then that relationships that failed let you know what you wanted and how you want to be treated. So do not discount the moments of inconsistency or the moments you have to restart, redo, relook, because it's them moments in the middle that truly solidify you as an innovator and as a mogul in your sphere of influence. All right. So the challenge for many people is that we're following people and we are taking advice from individuals that have never allowed themselves to have to fail or have to relook at things. We have the Clubhouse experts now, the Facebook experts, the Instagram experts. But the problem with these so-called experts on social media is that they're never transparent enough to really share what really is going on in their life. They never shared that middle experience. Everybody shares, I started out with $1 and then I got $1 billion, but nobody talks about the middle. It is the middle that truly what makes us moguls. It is the middle of a thing. It is because in the middle, you're too far in to go back. You feel like quitting because you're too far away. It is the middle where your bootstrapping money runs out. It is in the middle where you have to look at yourself and say, do I want to go back to work or I want to keep on pushing this thing? You know what I'm saying? So, we are living in a time where innovation is determined by plagiarism. We plagiarize things and say, hey, I'm innovating. But true innovation comes through that part of you that has to relook at the function of a thing. Why do I fry chicken? I don't fry chicken because I like it and in love with it. I fry chicken because it makes me money. Why am I married? Because I love to be married. And, when something is not working according to its function, it is perverted when you keep on investing time and breathing air into a thing. So you have to look at your life and your businesses and what's around you and say, is it functioning this morning the correct way? And if not, be not afraid to tear it down to the scraps and rebuild it again. Because the problem is, if your thing blows up in dysfunction, you will be required to be dysfunctional in that thing for the rest of your life. And this is the problem. When God blesses us, he wants to bless us, but not in dysfunction, because he will not validate that dysfunction. Everything that we create, when we were born into this earth, we was born with the DNA of the Father, our Father Jesus, God, excuse me, the Father. And so because he is a creator, we are a creator. Because he is a father, we are a father. We are able to speak. The first technology of this creation was words, is words. And so we're able to speak them things and create, but we must create them so they may function according to its purpose. So are you functioning? Is it functioning? So before we read our confession for this morning, I want to encourage you. Look at this thing here. Get down into it and look. Is it functioning correctly? Is my business working correctly? That's why you got to pay your taxes. That's why you got to have an accountant. And you may not have money for accountant, but you have money for QuickBooks Online. Get your subscription so that everything begins to function correctly. As you grow and your finances grow, begin to correct and move from that hustling to that business mode. Because when you're hustling, you're doing everything on your own because you don't have the resource or the help. But as you can afford it, and as your situation changes in your business, in your life, then you begin to correct them things and now begin to bring people on that can really bring wisdom. And, I made so many mistakes over the 20 some years of being an entrepreneur. And some mistakes was because I couldn't afford to hire somebody. Some mistakes because I wouldn't listen, because sometimes you're so passionate that you are ignorant. You can have passion and still be ignorant because you refuse to listen to someone else. And sometimes because the first connections or the first touches we have all received in our dreams and ideas were coming from a negative person with no faith, we begin to put up this guard or this shield in us that we're not going to listen to no one. And that means even people that we should listen to, because that experience bruised us or hurt us in such a way. So now, you can have ignorant passion. You can be very excited and prideful and arrogant and really ruin what could be something great because you refuse to be teachable in that moment, And so you have to look at that this morning. I was saying at the gym, other live, hey, let's be disciplined today. Let's work on this today. Let's really evaluate, because some of the reasons that we can't stop the negativeness, the sin in our life, the brokenness, being broke financially, because we lack consistency and discipline. And while we may know what we want to do and understand and have education in them areas and knowledge and even some revelation, we are undisciplined and inconsistent. So we can't take the weight off. We can't build the bank account. We can't build wealth. So all we can do is talk about something that ultimately we will never achieve, because there's no work behind our faith. There's only talk and there's no work. And so we consume knowledge, like it's a 3-course meal, but we do not activate knowledge that we may demonstrate it in our daily businesses and our lives. Implementation is what needs to happen. And so we're going to read our confession, but I want to say this last thing. Consistency is setting certain things in place that every day at this time or that time, I'm able to work on this goal. I'm able to work on this matter until it's completed. But discipline is setting restrictions and setting certain things in place that I diet from, that I digress from, until the point where it does not affect me anymore. Once I have achieved ultimate discipline, then I'm not affected by someone offering me a piece of cake if I don't eat that any longer. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't offend me. I'm not leaving thinking about it. I'm not leaving wishing I had it. I'm not having dreams or nightmares about it. I'm not craving it. It does not even have it does not even excite my flesh anymore. And so some of the things that we need to work on today is consistency and discipline, because you can have a project you're building in your business, but if you don't have, you have not put discipline in place, you will spend your time thinking about vacation, spend your time going places that can probably wait, on and entertaining conversations, sitting on social media, when you should be working and building what you said you are supposed to build. So when you lack discipline, you're easily distracted. Anybody can come and distract you. So some of the ways that Satan really messes us up is not just a temptation, but the fact that he knows that we are undisciplined. So if it's presented, we're going to do it. If it's in our face, we're going to take it. We don't even want it. We don't even want it today, but because it's there and we're undisciplined, we're going to consume it, and we're going to indulge ourselves in that thing. So today's confession is 10 things you should say to yourself in the morning from the Mogul Bible. And the first thing is, today will be a powerful and productive day, and I am excited. Second, I have been made for today, and today will submit to my agenda and work with me. Third thing I should say, I'm full of joy, hope, faith, and most of all, confidence. And I can do remarkable things. Fourth thing, I was born for every victory, and I will wear it with class. That's a good one. Just making sure she was in the chat room. I am the person that will be skipped. I am the person that will be skipped in line, called out to advance, and noticed in crowds, because I am the one that they have been looking for. Say, I'm the one that they're looking for. Looking for my business, looking for my brand, looking for me. 6, I look good. That's good. I feel great. I have had enough rest, so my body is working for me and not against me. That's a health thing. That's a soul thing. 7, obstacles do not stay long in my day, because I have been born to correct and turn challenges into opportunities to advance my life. 8, my emotions are in order. I am ready to meet new people, build new relationships, and be a person I dream about. That's a great one. 9, I am a master communicator, and I know what to say and how to say it so that I am advanced in the agenda of my dreams. and 10. I am great. I am successful. I am the one for the job. I am a master, and I am in love with me and will have a great day today. And them are 10 things you should say to yourself in the morning. Go watch the video again, listen to the rebroadcast of the podcast, whichever vehicle you're listening on, and just, repeat these things, and create your own confession that is going to change your life. A lot of times we are, as individuals, we don't see our day really being shaped because we don't speak what we want to see. You have to say what you want to see in order for it to manifest in your life. And a lot of times that is the challenge, because many times we're in a space in our life where we're just chaotic and we don't calculate our day. We don't get up in strategy. So, the morning Mogulvations is just about getting up in strategy and just saying, hey, I'm not going to just let my day rule me, but I'm going to rule my day by faith. I'm going to rule it by faith, and I'm going to really allow it to change my life, And so if you're listening to the Mogulvations podcast, or you're listening on Influence TV Network or on Facebook, share it with somebody also. Let them know, because, a lot of times, a lot of what we don't see is a matter of what we have not prepared to see. We have not spoken into existence. And so silence does not produce anything. You have to begin to say what you want so that you can see it happen in your life. So again, this is T.R. Burns, and I am on Influence TV Network. This is Collective Church sponsoring this, Influence TV Network. And, you're listening to Morning Mogulvations on Instagram, on Facebook, and, try to stay connected. Follow me, hit the notification button so that when I go live, you can be on and get in the chat room. If you got any questions, throw me some questions this morning. If you have some questions, if you're on live with me, just put in the comments, Mogulvation, Mogulvation, Mogulvation. I spelled that all wrong. So it's Magulvation. So let me get my spelling right, okay? But I'm excited. I said today that I'm excited because I fixed my mic. If you've been on my other broadcasts, we've been having some technical difficulties up on here. But I got up and said, listen here, let me figure this out today, because I want it to be good for all our moguls out there, hear clearly. Because the worst thing is when people saying they can't hear in the broadcast. I can't hear you, And it's like, oh, Lord. And while you're live, it's hard to really tech and fix it. So it is going great today. So, share this with someone if you're on Facebook or Instagram. Keep on following us. That's all I had to say today. I just wanted to motivate you. I want you to be happy, excited. Write your confession out. Today's confession was 10 things you should say to yourself in the morning. And you should write 10 things you should say to yourself in the morning so that your life may be better and greater, and people may be just motivated by your life. And so, thank you for logging and tuning in this morning, and just really being a part of what we are doing over here at the Collective, the living room, and just really inspiring people to do the best and live their best life. A lot of times, we are in a place in our life where, we need somebody to be a guide for us. We need somebody to really just inspire and to help us become better in our lives, and really, give us them tools, mental tools that will help us grow in our everyday life. If you're in the chat room, share this with someone. Let somebody know that TR Burns is live, and we are live. What they say, live and in color. Well, we live and in tune and in sync with whatever with this day. So recap before we close out is you got to frame your day. Be not afraid to start over. Be not afraid to regroup, relook at things. Be not afraid to look inconsistent to become consistent. most of all, do not allow your day to rule you, but you need to rule your day. One thing I want to share is most people don't understand. That's why a lot of time the Bible speaks about getting up early, because when you get up early, you're able to accomplish so much because you are getting up with execution in your mind. A lot of people spend their day sleep. Even if they're up, they're asleep because they have not prepared the night before to execute and to demonstrate and to produce. So they never produce their day. They never produce in their day, because, they are just existing in that moment. So they deal with things as things happen versus preparing their day so that nothing happens without their approval. So work on that. Read Proverbs. It talks about the sluggard. It talks about taking too much sleep. It talks about tardiness. It talks about inefficiency, and that a lot of times the reason that people money ain't right because they're inefficient and they're a sluggard. They're slow. Their priority is not in the correct place. So they never can get there early enough to achieve and maximize their day and achieve the best that they can because they're not motivated by the day. They're not motivated by what they have to achieve because they have no really goals set in place. And if they do, the goals are not powerful enough, or they don't see it as powerful enough to begin to want to make the sacrifice of their lateness or their tardiness or whatever it is to achieve that thing. So I wanted to just share this morning with you. This is Morning Mogulvations with T.R. Burns on Influence TV Network, Collective Church, the Living Room. And, we're launching the Collective Church. We're launching a lot of more, the TV network. So if you want to be a part of that or partner with us, you can text Collective Church to 74121. If you want to make a donation, you can use Cash App, $, Collective Church to send a donation. The greatest way to solidify your growth financially is giving. A lot of people only give because they are in a situation, but giving should be a matter of consistency also. A lot of people need to work on being disciplined and consistent in giving. And a lot of times people fail at that because they value what they have more than they value the God that gave it to them. So love you guys. Have a great day. Be motivated. Stay motivated. And follow I am T.R. Burns in the Collective Church and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All right, y'all have a great day, and I'm out of here.